Shortly after the president spoke on Friday, I spoke to Illinois' junior U.S. Senator Mark Kirk about the situation in Libya and how the Obama administration is handling it. The Arab League vote against him. The United Nations announcing a military action to defend.
Authorizing military force, yeah.
Do you think this will lead to the ouster of Gaddafi?
I think it will. I think over time what will happen is that people who oppose him in Tripoli, in a place they control, simply will drive across the rebel lines, will join the rebel army, and so it will grow in strength.
Listen, I'll confess. I am among those skeptical of us being the world policeman. I know some young people. They've been gone. There's one young man who grew up across the street. He's in Iraq for the 5th tour of duty. His mom and dad want him home. I want him back. How long are we going to stay involved in this? Is there any prospect for being able to extricate ourselves from that part of the world, or are we there for 50 years?
Well, first of all, no U.S. ground troops should be involved in this. This should be done with only Libyan rebels and U.S., Britain, and France providing air cover. Secondly, it would appear that Gaddafi doesn't have very long. He's relying on mercenaries and momentum being with him, but momentum, I think, is clearly going to shift against him very quickly. And then as long as the rebels are in charge of a big hunk of Libya, then Libyans are going to flee. And the oil, because remember, the key Tobruk oil fields are behind rebel lines. Then he's slowly going to be starved for cash. It's really Gaddafi against the world, and as we saw, Slobodan Milosevic against the world lasted only 71 days.
Some of your fellow Republicans on Capitol Hill have been critical of the president's handling of this. What grade do you give Barack Obama?
I would give him a B+, and I would give a special kudos to Secretary of State Clinton. She is the hawk of the administration. She led this effort inside the cabinet. She's the big winner today.
What is the role, as you see us going forward, of America in the Middle East post-Iraq?
I think the most important thing for America is to have an energy independence policy of drilling for oil offshore, of creating a new reliance on natural gas, which is the market is clearly saying is the key energy source for the United States.
The price of that is
the price of that is falling, but we are still going to be dependent on Middle Eastern oil for some time. So to secure the continued economic growth of the United States in this recovery, you should be making sure that we don't have such instability that gas goes to $4 or $5 a gallon. That's why being decisive, like what's happening in Libya, gives a long-term chance to calm oil markets and return to $4 or $3.50 a gallon gas.
Well, I guess my question really was this, Senator. With the upheaval in Yemen, Bahrain, of course, in Libya and Tunisia and Egypt, what's America's role there? Are we supposed to be the cop who goes in and stops every tin pot dictator who wants to clobber his people?
We have many tin horn dictators, and we shouldn't get involved here. I think the problem for Gaddafi is he was about to win this battle and would be completely uncontrolled, would return to terrorism. He hates the French, he hates the British, he hates the Americans. With access to the 7th or 8th largest oil revenues on the planet, he would have been armed and dangerous and would have resumed terror, like the Lockerbie bombing where 180 Americans got killed.
Now we have a naval base in Bahrain. Yemen has been a place that's become increasingly important. What role should we play there as street demonstrations and people is threatened?
The naval base in Bahrain is critical to keeping the Persian Gulf open, where a large part of the West energy supply comes from, and serves as a counterweight to Iran, a state sponsor of terrorism, a continual source of instability. And then the wider region, I think we should be a little bit more aggressive with regard to Indian Ocean pirates. I think that we should station a destroyer right off the coast of the main port called Hobyo, where the pirates operate, very much like Stephen Decatur did back under the Jefferson administration. Because
off of Libya, right?
No, this is off of Somalia, because right now the pirates are capturing super tankers and ransoming them for tens of millions of dollars to support terrorism and more piracy. This destabilizes oil markets. It causes the price of gasoline to go up artificially. If we have a more stable, secure future, then the price of energy goes down, and that protects our economic recovery. recovery and more jobs.
So how
for
would
the
putting a
United States.
destroyer there be anything but a target for the next hotshot nincompoop who wants to make a name for himself?
They have hardly anything that can come against us. And what you do is announce a policy like President Jefferson did. You shut down all maritime activity from the pirate port. And then if anything comes out, you sink it.
So they wouldn't be able to just launch, huh?
That's right.
All right. Senator Kirk, thanks very much.
Thank you.